Army, good morning. Oh, sorry, I thought I was on mute. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was talking this morning to a couple people about like just what your pre-market routine is. I like to look at SPY, just kind of get a sense of where we are, what's happening, what happened over the weekend in futures, and get a sense for maybe some levels that you'll be looking for because I like to trade with market direction. And a lot of what I trade is in SPY. So I kind of want to know what direction we're going to take things. I also look at, I've got 6 tickers up here: Netflix, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. And I look at these at the open and just kind of see if they're all going the same direction. Again, just kind of reinforcing overall market direction. I will be a little quiet here at the open. I've got some SPY puts that I've been holding since Thursday. So I got a couple things I'll have to kind of manage and probably close out of and reposition. Cosmos, good morning. Obviously, we have this big gap down that we're going to see on a lot of stuff here. I'm showing 298 on the SPY right now. We got about 1 minute until the open. So let's see what we're going to do. Especially Monday morning, I like to give things a few minutes to kind of shake out and see, what we're going to do. $97.47. I've got a line here holding just above that right now. So let's see if we stay above it. And watch this high-low ticker. Also gives me a sense of kind of the overall direction. These 300s. Looks like upside right now. Give it a few minutes here. Got 298.64. Now you guys can't hear Discord, right? I just want to make sure. Shouldn't be hearing that. All right, cool. Cool. Yeah, and that's the idea is I don't want people to hear it twice, right? So and listen, Army, and for anyone else that's new to Black Box, it is hard to listen to Black Box and try to listen to this, but I've got an earbud for Black Box. If you find yourself overwhelmed trying to pay attention to both, trying to listen to both, switch back and forth, or, when I hear things that I think need to be repeated or need to be focused on or whatever, I'm definitely going to bring it up. But all right, so we got this bounce on SPY and then just rolled over. Now we're dropping below the 21 and 34. High-low ticker still, for the most part, split. I have another screen right here in the middle where I'm also looking at the tick, looking at advancers, the advanced decline line, and UVOL and UVXY. So UVXY took a pretty steep candle down, obviously gapped up, candle down, and now moving back up. So that correlates with what we're seeing in SPY. So it looks like we're going to see some downside here. So looking at Apple, Netflix, so you can see similar, obviously across all these, similar direction. Sometimes you'll get one lone soldier that tries to go against the grain. A lot of times I will play that because it'll usually catch up. It'll usually join the rest of the pack and start moving with it. We don't really see that this morning. Everything's kind of moving together. Had a lot of success playing Amazon downside the last few days. I'm going to be watching this 2500. Let's pull up an Amazon chart. Yeah, and you can see the high-low ticker here. The momentum clearly to the decline side at the moment. Not to say it's going to stay that way. We're not even 15 minutes in yet, so I like to give things a few minutes, like I said, just to kind of shake out. Redemption, I don't even know if I totally understand what you sent me. I mean, I kind of went through it and I was like, yeah, this kind of looks, there's, I think in the trade. So what Monte Carlo did is, or what Redemption did is go through all my trades that I had posted in Black Box. And he's like, hey, does this look right? Does the, win-loss percentage and the potential gain percentage look right? And I don't know. I don't really track it. But it felt a little off because I think there's some YOLOs that, go in there that I'm like, oh, hey, this is a YOLO. And sometimes those go to zero and I don't, they're smaller positions, but, so that's probably why, or they get shouted out, the exits. So I think maybe that skews it a little bit, but good morning, Sketch. All right, SPY getting a bounce here. Amazon getting a bounce. So we're kind of back and forth at the moment. I heard Maria talking about ZM. Said she canceled the order, but did get filled. Go over to the flow here. Some Hertz. Oh, those are blocks. Some Hertz calls. See if there's anything unusual yet. No. I don't know what this jack is. Something I clicked on pre-market. Shop. Interesting news with Walmart. Might keep an eye on that. Let's see. Definitely kind of skewed. Some of them didn't catch an exit, but was skewed against you. So your hit rate is actually higher than that, which I showed. Hey, if that's what it is, though, I'll take it, right? I feel like it's higher than 69%. Car deal. Good morning. It's going well. Just getting started. You know, SPY just broke out of this pre-market. If you look at, like, you know, follow orb strategy or anything like that, that would be opening range breakout. I'm not ready to start going long. I do see things have flipped. Momentum has flipped. Let's give it, I'm going to give it a little more time. Nice bounce on Apple. Bounce on Netflix. So now Apple coming up to fill this gap or start working its way towards this gap. It's only got a couple dollars to go. That's not much of a hill for an Apple. Seeing the same thing across the board. Now UVXY starting to move down. That was a nice candle on SPY. I like to look at 3-minute candles most often. I don't get faked out as quick or as much when I'm looking at a 3-minute candle. I could be a little more patient. Now, looking at, this is a 78-minute chart. So it's not real surprising that we kind of bounced here where we did, right? This is previously resistance, previously support right here. So this is not surprising that we would get a bounce in this area. I'm not, I'm not going to turn bullish or consider going long until we get over 300 and hold. And then we'll kind of see if we can start going, that direction. Let's draw some. I'm going to draw some fibs in here real quick. I use this trend-based fib tool. Let's go something like that. So that 1272 up here, 323.43 was the area of rejection. We got 299.26 is the 618 ish. So that'll be an area to keep an eye on, which we're approaching right now. If we get above that, it may start working its way, if we clear that 300, towards the 786 extension, which is up around 305.50. So that is kind of what I'll be looking for as, confirmation that we are now moving up. But like I said, given where we bounced, I'm not ready to, make my decision as to direction. We are over that 299.26, still kind of wrestling with it, but looks like we're going to get over that. I'll have to make those fibs brighter because I'm sure I can barely read the numbers. I'm sure you guys can't read them, but I'll make them. I'll have to make them brighter. All right, now momentum strongly to the upside. But you might be sitting here watching this going, I don't even think he's made a trade yet. No, I haven't, and I don't need to. I can wait, like I said, get a sense of direction. Call volume in ticker C. Shop sweep, shop 920s there. I don't play City. We did have flow in that last week too, but I don't play it much. What are you looking at here? Let's see. At or below the bid. What are you seeing? Flow. Oh, Piton. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I see 550K sweep. 48, 717 48s. Nice size sweep. Go look at that chart. Amazon below the 21 and 34 here. Still kind of stuck in this. It's not resolved yet. Why is Piton popping this morning? Is there news? Or was this a technical bounce? You can see this trend line here. Nice bounce off that trend line. Really nice. If it can break above this, where are we at? 49.23. You see this resistance up here, right where we're at. This is on a 78-minute chart, right? So this is a couple weeks here of price action. We can break above that. We could take. We're talking blue skies. This is 52-week high, so all-time high. So it could definitely get some legs. Let's put in a parallel channel real quick. See what we can come up with. And it broke above almost 50. Wow. Yeah, it's blue sky territory here. All-time 52-week high was 49.68. We're above that. Let's see. Soldier AAL puts from Friday. I had already sold most of them. I'm holding 2. I'll give them a little time. See what's. I'm still not convinced what's going to happen this week. I'm kind of watching after this gap down. SPY struggling to move up. It did get a nice bounce, but right now it's pulling back again. So right now we're kind of just back and forth, and I don't see a clear momentum, clear push, clear direction. So I'm not making any fast decisions. I'm going to let this play out a little bit and see what we're going to do. Peloton would have been really nice playing off the bottom of this channel. I hadn't looked at it. in probably a couple weeks, but that would have been a nice spot to play it from. Peloton is screaming. 49.91. Any more flow come in? Look, that was below the bid. 12K against 550K worth of calls. So somebody collecting a little premium on those 54s, they don't think it's going to get that high. This message brought to you by Ember. If you haven't seen these coffee mugs, pretty awesome. They keep your coffee the perfect temperature. I know it seems like when my wife bought them, I was like, you did what? It's just coffee, right? But it's pretty cool. Let's go back to 3 minute on SPY. Pretty important, at least in the short term, for this to hold right here. I need to talk in Discord for a second. Maria, I was just looking at Piton. This is all-time highs here. It breaks above 50. It could get some legs, but it is blue sky territory. Let's see, SPY. Now you see Apple moving down here. Amazon kind of holding support, potentially. Right here. And Netflix kind of bouncing. Goog. And I don't really play Goog. I've played it like twice. I don't really play it much, but I do watch it just to see how all this stuff is moving. Microsoft, nice bounce. Holding VWAP here. See if that can continue. Apple's kind of looking like downside here. I got SPY sitting right on VWAP. Nice bounce right there. See if Apple responds to that. Start to get a sense of, all right, are these things moving with SPY like you'd normally see? Nice bounce on Amazon. SPY still resting right on VWAP there, just above it. Volume favoring the advancers at the moment. Still just kind of sitting back. God, the spreads on those CNHI calls, 80 by 190. I wish they'd tighten those up a little bit. I'm tempted to take Apple short here. I'd like to see it drop below this support here today and then get a bounce. And then I'd probably take a shot at it. And Peloton is over 50. Barely, but it's over 50. Let's see if it can stay over 50. I agree. Peloton is another one of those that can be pretty volatile. It could make some big moves. I just don't know how much more over 50 it's got, right? How much higher than 50 can it push? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but you know, blue skies is fine when the momentum is clearly in your favor. Right now it is. You could play it here, and you know, if 49.75 gives out, then you dump it. And just try to play, you know, that continuation off of this move. I don't love the way the options are priced. Let me look at, so I'm looking at this week's expiration. The 49s, I guess, aren't too bad. A little bit juicy for Peloton. For me. I'll tell you why that is, too, because we're looking at Peloton all-time highs. It's over $50. You want to play this, like the 51s, you're looking at $200 a contract, right? So that puts your break even 50, 30 plus your $2, or the 51 strike price plus the $2 puts you at 53. So theoretical break even of 53. Does it have that much gas in the tank to make people believe that it's going to go through 53 and keep going? Maybe, but I doubt it. So I'm probably not going to play it. Maria is following GSK. Did get an alert on that. Let's go take a look at that. $41s on this pullback for 55 cents. Take a quick glance and see where this thing came from. SmithKline. Definitely some room to the upside. Slow mover. I mean, these are 13-minute candles, right? So they're buying the 41s, which is all the way up here. You can probably pull a little bit out of those calls if you get a decent size move, you know, up here to 40, 50 or so. I don't love the range in this ticker. Probably not a bad play for if you're new, because it's probably not going to move real fast. Probably be a relatively slow mover. I don't have the patience to sit in something like that. It will probably work out, but especially here, gets through the 21 and the 34. This is the 233 up here. That'd be the next line of resistance. 40. It's only down 24 cents today. I like the play. As long as you keep kind of moving in the right direction. Again, this one wouldn't be a fast mover. I don't think. I don't watch GSK all that often. Those are showing 55 by 60. $71 target. 71. That's a generous target. Where did that come from? And that is not to say that I doubt it or that I don't think it can happen. Obviously, we know Peloton. I don't know what the short interest is today. I know, you know, it's been really high. I don't know what it sits at now. They're playing. There's two of them playing GSK. I'm not gonna play it. It's already past that. They were filling at 55. It's 60 by 65. Like I said, it'll be a nice slow mover. If Netflix kind of looking double top up here around 421. We looked at the Netflix chart. That was Saturday. There were a couple that we looked at. We looked at Netflix. We looked at what Pins, I think, Twitter, Snap. Nice place for Netflix to bounce here. Could look for some flow to confirm that. So we got some Twitter 35s. That was 20K sweep. More of those GSK calls. Those are at 65 cents, so they're still picking those up. Wow. Still coming into those. 759. Yeah. Still coming into those. All right, they're pounding this GSK. That is some nice flow. Now I'm showing 65 by 70. I don't want to buy it up there. They're still buying them. 70 cents right there. Let's go. Maybe let's go look at that chart again. $233 right here that it's got to get above. Looking at a 13-minute. 26. Thing is, if this rejects, I don't know if there's news here. I don't see. Oh, wait a minute. FDA approves GSK's unit drug to treat infants and children with HIV. That was. No, that's not new news. Is it? Friday. That was from Friday. Wonder if that's what's moving this. I don't really know, but if it comes and tests this 40-50, you can see the top of this candle. You can see where this has been an area of contention here. I would expect they'll start flipping out of those pretty quick if that continues to reject right here. So I'm not going to play it. Probably be the biggest gainer of the day, but I'm not going to play it. At 60, at 55, I would have tried it. At 60, maybe, but I'm not buying it at 70. I saw the first 65 sold at the bid. See, they're starting to talk about taking profit. That's not when I want to be getting in, right? Apple 320 put, that's a block. I do not want to see these blocks. Where's the sweep only button? I don't want to see the blocks right now. Qualcomm calls at the bid. This is the other thing that I like to look at and watch too is, you know, when you see BABA and Facebook and these Microsoft calls are above the ask, but when you start to see, and I'm not seeing it yet, but you start to see some consistency of calls hitting the bid in the flow, you know, that gives me a sense of profit taking is happening and we might be kind of leveling out before the next, you know, market move in a direction. So just kind of watching that right now, watching the flow right now. Now, GSK 60 by 65. I'm not getting in when everybody else is getting out, but all right, Apple trying to push up here. Netflix still pushing up. Netflix looks pretty good this morning. Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft moving up, coming into this potential resistance up here in the high 180s. 188, 36 or so. Netflix continuing to push. Any flow on Netflix yet? I think I saw one sweep come through. Let's go take a look. 450 calls below the bid. Nope. Nope. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean it won't work. Just means there ain't any sweeps in it yet. 420, 491, 425-ish. Call it. May act as some resistance there. I do like this setup here on the 13-minute, though. That was a nice bounce. I would have liked to pick it up earlier. You know, down here, 414, 415. This purple line here. So I used the 13, 21, 35, 55, 89, and then a 233 in VWAP on this chart. You can kind of see, I need to change some colors, but coming into this area of potential resistance here that it has to get over. I think I'd be really interested in this, like above 425.50. I'm going to put an alert on my chart here just in case it makes it up there. Throw an alert in here. Already nice pop, though. What happened to these colors? That is the Fib 5, which is the 89. 6 is the 233, which I usually use blue. There we go. So coming right into the 233 on the 13-minute that it has to get through. And then you got the 89 EMA just above up here. So it's got to get through that, which is why I've got my line right here. In fact, I'll move this right up just a 425.36. I'd really like to see it break through even 426 to show that momentum. Sounds like a lot of users having issues with Thinkorswim this morning. If you're on TOS, it sounds like there's quite a few issues with it. But maybe working now. All right, SPY coming up to the 34. Why do those charts look different? That's why. Turn off the extended hours there. All right. Now, you can see that high-low ticker. You know, all the momentum and volume coming in to the upside. UVol DVol is up. We had a 920 tick to the upside, and then about 900. You know, not seeing that tick above or below 1,000. We got one this morning. That was to the downside, but looking bad. So, Sniper, face shot. Where do you think we're going? What do you see in SPY? You see us kind of moving up right now. Momentum to the upside. TOS is very laggy for you. Sorry to hear that. Like I said, it sounds like a lot of people are having problems with it. And that sucks. For sure. Just not. See how SPY was in this, and I've shown this chart a few times, but you see how SPY was in this like upward channel here, bouncing back and forth. It dropped out of that channel. We do have a new trend line. I started drawing this morning. Kind of like that. Continuing to push up here. Let's go look at our Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft. Tell you, Netflix is looking strong. That's 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 straight green candles on a 3-minute chart. Still want to see this 425 clear and hold. And I think there's some upside here. Potentially. Another set of GSK calls hitting the bid. CLX Clorox, 230 strike. Those are calls at the bid, 40K. Cisco 41 puts at the bid, 60K worth. Decent size. Now Netflix pulling back a little bit. You could try this. If it comes down and tests this 34 and the 233, if you get a pullback here, it would be, I think, worth taking a shot at. If you play Netflix, again, one of those like Netflix and Tesla, Amazon, smaller accounts, definitely don't recommend it. If you're new, I don't recommend it. But, you know, looking at this, looking for that pullback and for this pre-market level to kind of hold its support, I think it'd be worth taking a shot at. Especially with the at least current momentum, you know, in your favor. I do have UVXY bounced off the 233 here and getting a little bounce, but nothing, you know, again, in this high-low ticker, very lopsided still. Netflix options can be pricey. But with the amount of time that you would have on them, you know, playing them on a Monday, you can play a little further out of the money and still get some moves. What do we say? We're sitting at 422.50. 430s at $6 is probably what I'd play. Maybe even the 425s, but those are 830 by 875. So. But I'll tell you, for me, I really like to play that when I get that strong, you know, when you can feel that strong momentum, that strong push in one direction, and I'm just not. We have had now 2 back-to-back ticks over 1,000 to the upside. Got SPY rolling over a little bit right here, but this may just be a pullback before the next push. Definitely not screaming, though, like we saw last week to the downside. And, you know, downside moves do tend to be more violent than they are when you're climbing to the upside, but you don't get the same sort of move. This is TradingView. I chart in TradingView. For the most part, I execute my trades on E-Trade. PB, what's up? Welcome back. Good morning. Likewise. It's been a while. Gotta get my bearings again. This is the first time in, 4 months that I've streamed, you know, during the day here. I want to see if SPY is going to hold the 21 and 34 here. Right now, momentum still favoring the upside. First candle in a while on the advanced decline line that's coming in red, but momentum still looking to the upside. Not really anything. I mean, I have a couple small swings from last week. I haven't gotten in anything new today. Have not played anything yet. I have to be a little more careful. You know, again, first day back streaming. I realized that, you know, I things are just a little off, and I, take my time. Just when things change, then I'm, all right, take my time a little bit, pick a spot. I think you could, I may even take a shot at SPY if this holds up here. I am a little bit, and this is my own, bias. A little surprised that we're seeing kind of momentum to the upside right now. But I got to kind of throw that out the window a little bit and just play what I see. But right now, just watching Netflix, watching SPY. I just want to see if we're going to hold up. Because when you get this big gap down, right, then it's like I see that big gap down and go, okay, over the weekend and leading into Monday morning, the bias was clearly to the downside, right? But now we've bounced and we're right back here testing 301. I don't feel confident in continuation past. Maybe we're just trying to fill this gap before we see some downside. Maybe we don't see any, but I'm, after that gap down, I'm looking at this going, okay, this kind of feels like a relief bounce. And we did bounce off an area of support. So not surprising to see a bounce, but I'm not ready to take much long yet. I'm not convinced. This chart looks good. Right here, this pullback to the 34 here. It's above the 233. It's above the 21 and 34. I also like, for those of you that seen some of my streams in the past, this indicator here is a custom indicator that I like a lot. I like to see this turn to the upside to show some bullish momentum before I take it long. But you could certainly scalp it here. And you know where your stop is. What is going on here? Why will my... All right, now I'm having... Oh, that's fun. Why I decided to put it on that screen. I'm going to have to figure that out. What's the name of the custom indicator? It is in a private repo, but it's free. I can get that for you because you have to use the direct link to pull it up. So that is this indicator right there. That's the off chart indicator. Yeah, no problem. There are two. That's the off chart. here's an on-chart indicator that combines multiple EMAs into one indicator. If you're on a not on a premium TradingView premium or something like that, where you're limited on indicators, that's a good one to use. And it actually will change the EMAs based on the time frame automatically. So if you're on like a 1 minute or a 3 minute chart, then it will only use the first 3 EMAs, and you'll see they're called EMA short when you look in the settings, like EMA short term. And if you go to a longer time frame, it'll use the EMA long term values. So it automatically changes them for you, which is kind of nice. I have one other indicator that I'm not currently showing or using, but I will. Yeah, no worries. Okay, still seeing momentum to the upside, although SPY pulling back a little bit here, testing the 21 EMA. Roulette bullish on AMAT. Just going to get rid of some of these lines here. It looks a little busy. Saw NKLA in the list, 70 calls. Spot price 63.74, 100K sweep, paying 640 for those. Not 717. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Good to be back. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I've got some more travel planned, but I wanted to be here while I could. I know there's a lot of new people. Another big trial week this week. There are some more streams going on, though, throughout the week that you guys should catch. If you're in Black Box, Charlie is going to be streaming tomorrow. So make sure you catch that. There's a lot of training classes and things going on throughout the week that you should catch if you haven't seen them, or even if you have. I tend to watch them more than once. INTC 65 calls coming in at the bid. Not much yet, though. So we've only had 3 alerts this morning. Relatively slow morning, and I get the sense that it's the same reason I'm hesitant, because we had this gap down and then we're going to push up a bit. And to me, I'm not seeing anything super convincing. And I don't want to, play something just to play, right? I'm not going to put my money on the table just to play something. So Momo with some Momo. Every time I see that name, it's like what was the other one? Is Bull a ticker? No, that's not the one. Something else that I saw like a week ago that I saw the ticker like Momo, right? It's like, oh, maybe it was Moon. I don't remember. And now SPY. Got a little tug of war going on here. Not, you know, not totally split, but not like I could probably find you a screenshot of what it looked like last week when you clearly see, you'll see one side just pegged and the other side not moving at all. And that's when I like to trade. Do I like AMD here? Let's look at AMD real quick. Now Netflix pulling back further. Ooh. Yeah, I can't. At high a day or near high a day on a day like today, I can't mess with it. Down here, closer to 5250. You know, trying to play a bounce there, I could see. Or up here, 56, 60-ish. You know, trying to play a rejection there. Right in here where it's at, kind of feels like no man's land. Unless you're going to try to play, you know, you could consider playing this to the downside. This is a 78-minute chart. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to go to a 13. Yeah, you could play this potentially shooting for downside rejection off this 89 EMA. So if I was playing this, that's the way that I would play it. You know, you've got kind of double top right here. I don't know which direction you were looking at, but you could try to play this double top for a push back down closer to 52. I actually kind of like that. You're in calls? Yeah, I can't do that until you get through that 89 EMA because you're getting a rejection right here. Again, you've got this double top. Kind of looking to fill this would have looked like a gap on a shorter term. But you do see things on the 13-minute. You see these EMAs kind of trying to cross over, but it hasn't made that move yet. It hasn't really shown that the momentum has shifted. So I would not be ready yet, but now if you're in calls, you really need to see this. You know, if this right in here doesn't hold as support, you know, then you're looking at the 21, VWAP, the 34, the 233 down here. So you kind of have to decide how much room you're going to give it. And I don't know what calls you're in. I don't know what strike or, you know, how much time you have or whatever, but that's what you need to see happen. And you've got to decide, where do you cut? Where do you decide that it didn't work? And I can't answer that because I don't know what you're in or what you got in at or whatever, but look at SPY and look at AMD, though. They're moving pretty similar. SPY going to come down here and test VWAP. Let's see. Again, high-low ticker kind of showing split. Now we'll see if SPY holds here. We may be, at least in the near term, let me pull up a, that's not what I want. This is what I want. This price range. see if we get out of this or if we're just going to bounce right here, come back up, and be range bound. But let's see. That is E-Trade is where that comes from. That is the E-Trade high-low ticker, which I love. All right, we're getting a bounce here on SPY. Now your AMD. That will help push AMD off this level of support. Should that continue. Well, let's see if your AMD can hold there. Now SPY, now that it's given up this 21 and 34, that obviously did not get the bulls to step in. Now we've got to see if it's going to reject right here. If this rejects, it's going to come back down, test VWAP. Let's see where we go from there. Right now, the volume going into tickers making new highs, pretty lopsided. So you see that pop on SPY. JD, yeah, I've heard JD called out a couple times. Is working out. And I'll be right back. I'm just going to go refill my coffee. All right. We're still stuck in that price range. A tick over 800 there, but still nothing. If UVXY can break 233 here, we might get a little momentum and push. the upside. It's kind of looking like that's what it wants to do. Anything on the unusuals yet? GSK. And only GSK. I'm still not playing it. SPY looking a little bit weak here. Still got to break below, get out of this price range and get below VWAP before it's really going to move. Let bearish on ZM. All right. That was a lower tick. Negative 825. SPY testing VWAP. Right here. If it drops out of this price channel, we might see some acceleration. And if it does, I would be willing to take SPY short and look to see if we can continue to reject this price channel. If it drops out of this and it gets below VWAP, then I would be willing to take a shot on it using, somewhere in here as the cut line. But it's got to get through this first. Otherwise, we may just get chopped to death going back and forth in here. So see, I'm just watching and waiting until I get something that I see that really makes sense to me. So we're back under 300. See if it can reclaim 300 or if that's going to continue to hold as resistance. Genus. Sketch. I don't know anything about that, about Genus. I think I've looked at the chart a couple times. Yeah, Genius Brands. I don't know anything about these guys. And it's, a $5 stock. Whether or not you should hold it long term, I can't really say. I don't know. To me, This looks quite a bit like a pump and dump. You know, when you figure that this move happened in, what, 3, 4 trading days? But I don't know anything about them, so I can't. I don't know what the hype is and the story they're trying to tell. I have no idea. And I tend to like stay away from that kind of stuff. Yeah, no problem. It's outside of, acceptable risk tolerance for me. Like if I don't know who they are and I've never heard of them and I see that spike to, $8-9 and then drop back down, it's like, yeah, it's not for me. 100 million shares in the float, average volume 150 million. It's done 62 today. So it's a relatively low float. Probably had a few spikes in volume, but I just don't know anything about them. Check on my MDP. Back over 16. An alert. 1744. I need to go take a look at it if it clears that. Tesla doing today? 940. These lines can go away. Out of all that, Tesla is only green $3 today. So far. Let's buy back above 300. So, see, I drew this price channel and I said, right now we may be just stuck in this, which is just chop, right? And I don't want to mess with it until we get out of this choppiness. And that's why I didn't want to take a trade until I actually saw this. If I'm looking to the downside, I want to see it break out of this price channel below VWAP. Then you could take a shot on a short there using this as your, you'd know really quickly, okay, it drops out of here, somewhere in here, and you decide you want to try to take it short. And you know very quickly that if it gets back into this price channel and starts moving up, then you cut, right? But if it rejects, you've got the chance that it rejects and starts moving back down. That's kind of the play that I'd be looking for. Conversely, and this is why I'm a little biased right now to the downside, is because of this gap down. A lot of times you'll go up and kind of fill some of this gap, if not all of it, before getting a strong rejection. Right now, getting a nice push to the upside. I've got UVXY giving up the 233 right here. That was a tick over 900. It's good. Yeah, I agree. SPY needs to get out of this price channel, which it looks like it's trying to do right here. There's some, that's a nice move. And now we've got a tick over 1200. So there's some nice volume coming into that. UVOL DVOL looks good. Advanced Decliner looks good. News about Amazon testifying before Congress. Just came through on Discord. That was a nice pop on SPY. Nice pop. Yep. Ooh, what's DKNG doing? Oh, very nice. Let's go. Needs to get above about 43, I think. Be really interesting. You could start looking at it. Yeah, 43, 43. This resistance right here. What was that Mario's playing? We get an alert. Dish. Steady bullish. On these 45s. Ooh, nice move. 45s out to October. Let's go look at a dish chart real quick. I can already tell, looking at this, that I like the way that it's set up. Yeah. I am going to follow that. I like that. Lots of time on those, too. So 45's out to October. Let me go see what those are pricing. I'm actually going to turn this off for a second and see where the order pops up. Dish. October 16th. I don't even show. Let's see. 9 strikes. That takes me to 42.50. 11 strikes. That takes me to 45. So those are $1.55 by $1.60. It's currently at 33. So those are $12 out of the money. Wow, there is a lot of volume in those, though. Kind of like the 37.50s for 3 by 350. Yeah, I'll just follow the alert for now. We'll see how those do. I'm just going to pick up a couple. And as expected, the order. That's why I had to turn off my screen for a second, because you guys don't need to see my account number and things every time, and it's showing up on the wrong screen. So I did get into those. Well, those have a lot of time on them. So we got a repeater and a steady bullish on that strike and expiration. So we'll see what happens. I can't fit that many charts comfortably on a 19. I'm using 4K monitors. I've got 2 LGs and 2 Dell. I can send the models later. I don't remember exactly what they are, what the model numbers are. But I can post them later in the day. So something like this dish with the flow that came in, I'm not going to pay too close attention to it because those are out to October, and I do like the way that this is set up here. Or a move to the upside. If we throw in some fibs real quick. Let's just kind of see. Look at that. 141 extension wobble. Didn't quite make it to 1618. It holds that 3228. That's Fortinet, isn't it? FTNT. I think so. Yes. Yeah. Is that time sensitive? Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, I will respond to you. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, so I'm not going to pay too close attention to this. Like I said, when I take these kinds of plays, I like the way that it's set up. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just go throw some alerts in here on the chart. So it reminds me to go back and take a look at it If it hits one of these levels, doesn't mean I'll get out. It's just like, we're making a move. Might want to take a look, see what it's doing. So I'll throw a couple in here. And that way I don't have to stare at this chart, right? I can move on to something else. These are out to October. So I can move off this chart, look at something else, and come back to it if I need to. So I'm liking, yeah, you see the momentum here to the upside. We still have the same SPY, still have this gap that we've got to fill. They're playing this JPM. We did get 2 alerts on JPM, these 108s, 626, 108 calls. Sounds like there's a few following that play. There's your GNUS $5 calls. Came in, what, half hour ago or so? 45 minutes. SPY next resistance 303.50-ish. Go back and look at SPY. Yeah, I mean, we're still not clear. And there's just a lot. This 302.50-ish. You're saying 303.50. Yeah, kind of in that area. Go to a 26. That's a 78. Let's go to a 26 here. Go 260. Yeah, I mean, I still have, resistance up here that we have not gotten through yet, but the momentum is favoring, the upside right now, so it may be enough to push it through. We shall see. Consolidation from Friday evening. Yeah. I actually don't have, and normally I have the ES chart up. I don't even know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still. So I like to watch, and I don't know if I can. No, it's not going to let me drag that over. I do have an ES chart up that I'm looking at. I want to take a screenshot of this and show you guys what I'm looking at. So I'm watching this area right here, currently acting as support. And that, if we make it up there as potential resistance on that chart, which is up around, so I'll be watching, like, if we continue to move up, that 310, that 310 could be tough if we get there. I don't know. Futures kind of look like they're rolling over here. See that on SPY as well. I got, if you're bullish, you want to see 299.50-ish. You want to see that continue to hold. Yeah, you probably don't want to send that. Oops. Yeah. Responding to a message here. I'm not going to call you out, but yeah, you probably don't want to send that. You already did, so now it's, yeah. Deal with the heat. See, we kind of popped through this range, but you still have this consolidation, this, you know, what was support right here. Still got that we got to deal with. That it's got to get through. Until that happens, back and forth we go, I suppose. All I keep hearing is DKNG. I need to go look at that because I still am in some DKNG calls. What are they doing? I'm still about flat on them. I still got a month on those calls, though, so that's okay. So how many people watching the stream right now did not find me on Black Box? Raise your hand or say hi, throw a thumbs up, something like that. And I'm not talking about the people that are in the Profit Box server, people that just randomly came across this on Twitch or something like that. That's what I want to know. Found me through Twitch. Well, yeah, but you've been around for a while. You're not new. I don't think. SPY, final little support here on the 21 and 34. See if it is going to push through this. Ticks over 800. UVault devol still moving up. GSX, what's GSX doing? Is it still moving up? Yep. That thing's crazy. Once again, at least in the short term, Citron failing miserably, calling out what he says is another China scam company. And it may be. And it may plummet, but man, in the short term, that thing has been a rocket. This looks like now Google's another. It's tough to play options on Goog if you have a smaller account, right? Those contracts are crazy. But nice consolidation going on right here. After the gap down again. BA. We go look at BA. Ooh, it is taken off, isn't it? BA actually looking pretty good. Trying to bounce off that 89 EMA here on the 65. Not looking half bad. So you're not going to jump on the hog alert? There's a hog alert that just happened. Yeah, BA just crossed through that 233 there. Looking nice, moving to the upside. I don't that it just came through on was there not an alert? Maybe it was just flow that they were calling out. Oh no, there's an alert right here. 619.26 puts, roulette bearish. Get another little pop on SPY there. This BA pushes the markets up. Yeah, BA looks good. BA looks good. And all I see right now I'm seeing tick over 1,000. We hit 1,200 on the tick. Everything pushing up. Looks like we're gonna make some more moves to the upside. Now I see volume coming in. Got SPY coming up to the 233 here. See what it does at the 233. Not getting sucked in just yet. Let's go back and look at this daily. The 299.26 we talked about being the 618 extension. But you see how everything here, this is 233, 233 minute. Wow, that looks like an Oakley. That is not what I was trying to do. Right in here off that 618, the 89 EMA, but you can see all the EMAs kind of looking like they're rolling over. So still not, I don't love it. But BA, holy cow, BA. Definitely looking like it wants to continue. Oops. You got the BA 190s for this week at 740. You are already green. I like it. As long as it can hold that 233, I like it. Throw a limit order on something there to see if we do get a pullback and I can get a fill. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. Let's see. You're in Datadog. July calls. Ranger Trader. Yeah, I can look at Datadog. That thing has had a nice day. And then a 78-minute chart. Whew. So 233. Get a little more perspective. You can see on the way up, it got through that 786 extension. Pulled back to it, got a nice bounce. Back up through that impulse high. Going to test the 1272 up around 8407. Getting near that. I'd be keeping an eye on that. See what it does there. If it clears that, 141 up at 90.27 or so. You also have, I can see this trend here. So if I draw a parallel channel and we just kind of connect this move here, the top of that channel is right about where it's at. It needs to get through that to make that push and, you know, go try for 90. But you've got that 1272, 8407, along with the top of this channel, this parallel channel. So it's got to get through that. And you got to see it break out of this channel, get over that 1272, and then you've got a chance to get that continuation and try for 90. Little bit of a pullback there on BA. Yeah, you're welcome. Vazu, what's up? Welcome back. I've been good. Been good. Thanks for asking. I'm going to have to figure out why E-Trade keeps throwing my order tickets over on the other screen. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but got into a little BA here on that pullback. See if we can get any continuation here. I'll use this 233 or somewhere close to that. I might give it to the 21. Let's see if we can continue to push here. See what happens. Right now it looks like pushing nicely. We got SPY right here at the 233 that it's got to try to push through to continue this move. That BA position is a pretty small position. I'm still not convinced until we get through that. So more risk than, that I want to play with any sort of size. So yeah, Apple looks pretty good. Now Netflix pulling back, testing that 233 there. Oh, that's the 34 on this chart. Testing the 34 now, broken just below it. So as SPY moves up, stay at home. Netflix, I guess, is going to go the opposite direction. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. I would expect to see some resistance here, maybe a little pullback. You can see here on the 13-minute chart kind of what we're coming into, that it's got to get through. BA can move pretty fast, so if it can get through that, you can see it, take a run. But I'm going to give this just a couple minutes and see what happens. Set an alert there. There is a pullback on SPY. Coming back to test that 21 to 34. Damn it, I'm out of coffee again. I don't know why. Last night I did not get a lot of sleep, but I have my bedroom window faces my neighbor's house, and love my neighbor, super nice guy. But man, that guy gets up early. And he's an older guy. But he was out there banging around in his garage at like 5:30 this morning. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? It was one of those nights where every little noise, like the dog was running around, they barking at 2 o'clock in the morning at something downstate. It's like, I'm not going to sleep tonight. A little extra coffee this morning. Tell you, Apple's not looking half bad right here. I don't play a ton of Apple, but I do from time to time, especially when there's flow. Right now, BA pulling back. Still seeing the volume lean towards the advancers. Now you see this pullback on SPY as well. Should have waited for that. but I'm just watching everything inch slowly, but inching up. So we'll see. SDC 743 hitting the high a day ticker. AbbVie 9221. That's got a long ways to go before it can try to make a move. I really wanted that thing to go test 100, and I'm shocked it didn't at least try. As close as it was, surprised it didn't go try. It's only Monday. Let's see what happens. I'm going to give this just a little bit here. See what? We've got multiple lines of support under here that it would have to break through to the downside. We did get that opening range breakout. So give it just a little bit of room here and see if we get this consolidation move higher. If I start to see, volume come in and a drop down, I'll just cut it. But let's see. And I am going to, the stream is going to be a little different than where it used to be. I would just sit here all day and stare at the chart and talk the whole day. And I'm probably not going to do that. We have a big trial week in Black Box. So I have some things that I need to do for Black Box to support that effort. And I don't think me sitting here for 8 hours really helps. I know half of you will sit here for 8 hours with me. If for no reason, then just, obviously trading, with a group to hang out with is better than trading by yourself. But I don't know that it does anybody a whole lot of good to have me just sit here and drone on and flip through the same charts. But this is what I'm looking at. So and keeping a watch on GSK. It's the first alert. It continues to bounce between 10 and 20% gain. Yeah, like I said earlier, I expect that one will not be a real fast mover. It just doesn't typically, doesn't make huge moves, but you don't need it to, right? 20, 30% gain, take it. Easy money. Newmont Mining, NEM, hitting that high day ticker. Man, sold that one too soon. I had that in the low 30s and I let it go. HD, popping up there on the low a day ticker. All right. Seeing some moves into Newmont Mining. You see gold there. on the high day ticker. What are we going to do, market? They're talking about in Black Box too, like how low, like how slow the flow is moving, which, you know, everything that I'm watching tells me kind of the same thing that I was seeing, which is nothing's really super convincing. I would give it at least, you know, see if this 21 is going to hold. You got the 233, you got the 21. You know, you do you, and you have to do it your way. I'm going to give it just a little bit more room here. You know, you got multiple levels of potential support that should hold if this is going to continue. If it's not going to continue, it's going to give this up. They'll sell right through it. But I'm going to give it just another minute. Can I paste what in chat? The chart? I don't know. Apple high day. No, I can't. There's a pop on SPY. Now testing the 233 again. Oh, you want me to paste the link to the chart? Sharing is on. Come on, SPY, gonna get through that? Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. I mean, when I see the tick, we've gone over 1,200 positive twice, which is a good sign for, you know, if you're in long positions, but doesn't mean it's going to continue. I see UVXY is coming up to test right now the 21 EMA. So see if it gets through that or rejects. GSX. High day. HD still flashing that low a day. 234. If we get a bounce here. This will be telling this spot, I think, at least near term. You want to see that hold. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. Watching it rest, watching BA rest right here. 233 and 21 EMA. Want to see if that holds a support. If UVXY is going to reject, this would be a good spot for it to do it. Bartholomew. Thanks, man. Subscribe with Twitch Prime. Appreciate it. All right, BA. Let's push. Not that way. I'm seeing they're SPY trying to push down now. I'm looking at the wicks on the candles here, and they're definitely pushing this thing down at the moment, but nothing aggressive yet. I will say I was pleasantly surprised by answering the DMs on when are you streaming again? When are you streaming again? It was like, well, I will when I can, but it was nice to see the support and obviously there's some people here that find value in it, and I appreciate that. I am going to try to be doing this more often again, start to get back into it. Tomorrow might be tough because I know Charlie's doing a stream for Black Box. I'll probably be in and out a bit, but I will try to stream live at least for a little while tomorrow. And like I said, it's probably not going to be all day. Not going to be all day. I don't like what I'm seeing here. How do I pick between Voice, you, and Charlie? Yeah, it's you don't really have to. I mean, I'm going to try to stream when they're not, right? Because I definitely don't want to. I want people to be able to experience it all. And, watching Charlie interpret the flow is really valuable, for sure. I don't want you to have to make a choice. So if there's some other stream or class going on, then I'll probably just wait until that's done before I stream. This is a battle right here. To be expected. SPY still trying to hold this 21 EMA. does not want to let go. Squishy candles coming in on SPY. Time is it? 9:30, 11:30 Eastern. Volume starts to slow down as lunchtime approaches. Yeah, I'm probably just going to cut this. If we get one more candle down, I'm just going to cut it. I am going to go do what I need to do to support this trial week for Black Box for a little while during the lunch hour while things kind of slow down. I'll try to come back. Do I do a lunchtime jingle? No. That is all Kang. Sketch, I said I'm going to give BA like this shadow box area of support right here. I'm going to watch it and just kind of see what it does right around here. But right now, pushing down. I really wanted to see this continue. I expected this, resistance in here. It's early in the week. I'll give it a little more room, but this isn't, an aggressive move to the downside. It may just be a pullback, test this area of support. I'm watching SPY though pull back a little bit. Not loving it, which is kind of, from the beginning of the day, it was, we're not seeing that strong direction that shows conviction behind it, which I don't really like to play when it's, moving slow and feels like we might get chopped around a little bit. It may be, see what happens in the afternoon after lunchtime, see if it's any better. The flow, it is, relatively slow. I just heard Charlie 15 minutes ago talking about, I don't really see anything I love, and nothing's really, showing a ton of conviction besides that dish, which he thinks is going to be called out on the halftime show, and he's usually right. So we'll see. But I'm going to let this work in here a little bit, see what it does. If it continues to move down, through VWAP and stuff, I'll just cut it. But for now, I'm going to hold it and just kind of see what it does. But I am going to pop over to Black Box for a while. And I have probably 13, 14 DMs from trials that are trying to figure out where to go and what to do that I need to go help out. And I'm going to grab some breakfast. And then I'll come back this afternoon, probably after lunchtime, and hang out for a bit. So thanks for joining. I'll get my, take me a couple days to get my bearings back together. Right now it's kind of tough because I can't really get in and out of trades real quick because it keeps bringing the trade ticket up on the screen that I'm sharing, which I don't like my account number being displayed and things like that. So I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to fix that. And I'll try to do that over the lunch hour here. And hopefully by this afternoon, be back ready to go. I am seeing just a SMAR hit the high ticker. Now the high ticker moving, high day ticker moving pretty good. You see SPY finding support, BA finding support. So as long as things continue to move in this direction, it's not scary like it was last week for people when you start seeing all those big drops and those big moves down and the selling pressure just piling on. At least we I like trading that environment, and it's great if you're short, but if you're not, it's definitely scary. I see Piton holding over 50, now 50.69 on the high day ticker. Yeah, you see that high day ticker just cruising now, going into lunch. Be careful over the lunch hour, because volume will slow down, and it's hard to trade over lunchtime, East Coast time, because you will get faked out. You'll see these lower volume moves, and it can be tough to trade. So I don't trade a ton over the lunch hour. So stay patient, stay disciplined. Let's wait for a move with conviction and volume. Look for that. SPY still has to get over the 233, so until that happens, I'm not totally convinced. Again, after this gap down, we may just go close the gap, which is kind of where we're at. May just fill that gap before deciding which direction, but just wait for it to give you direction and wait for that volume to show you conviction in the move. So I will be back this afternoon. Stay green.